Thank you for coming today to share your oral history of your recollections of your experiences while a student here at Chestnut Grove Elementary School. This project is being funded by the Conservation Fund. Please state your name and please share with me the schools you have attended.
I'm Robert Moore. I put the grades 1 through 8 at Chestnut Grove, um, 9 through 12 at Unity High School. I went to trade school at Catawba Tech in Hickory. I went to Central Piedmont Community College in Charlotte.
Thank you. Do you have any special memories of teachers or things that you reflect on today from Chestnut Grove Elementary?
I do a host of them. Miss Miller was my first and second grade teacher. Um, I, I thought the world of her. Miss Mary Morrison was everybody's teacher. I loved her. But she taught me in the 4th grade. Um, Junius Campbell was the principal for most of my time there. He was a wonderful principal. But Miss Sadie Morrison, Miss Houston was one of my favorites. I had some good teachers. It was just a good school. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
What were some lessons that they taught you?
Well, I started off with Miss Morrison, taught me not to copy other people. My mother did done a real good job with that, but Miss Mary Marshall was getting to be a pretty old teacher by the time I come along, and some of the boys, even some of her nephews, would sing, "The old gray mare is not what she used to be," and I thought it was ugly, but then I caught myself getting that rhyme, and the one time I sang that song, she heard me, and she said, "Come here, Robert. You don't think I'm what I used to be?" I said, "Miss Martin, I wasn't talking about you." She said, "No, no, no, don't start that." So she worked on my butt for a while, and then she said, "Do you think I ever was better?" I said, "You did good." She did a good job. But I was taught the lesson there, don't copy other people.
Okay. Can you tell me about a typical day at the Roosevelt School, Chestnut Grove Elementary?
Well, with the classes, the teachers were very diligent, trying to teach and learn. One of my shortcomings was I missed a lot of school. I grew up on a farm. My dad would have us out of school uh, picking cotton, and so I missed a lot of school. So when I got into school, I felt like I was kind of behind, but the teachers worked diligently with me, and I got through. It was, you felt love when you were at Chestnut Grove.
Mhm. So after you left Chestnut Grove and you went to those schools, what was your career path after that?
Well, after high school, I was had a doing furniture upholstering was what I liked that kind of a trade, but I went to school for it. But the jobs for minorities were not that plentiful, so I left that and started to work in the construction type industry. And I wound up the last. Well, I was in service. I was in the Signal Corps in service for 3 years. In Vietnam was a year. I was a plant manager for 2 different companies, and uh, there was a company in Rock Hill, South Carolina, that made bathtubs. I was a plant manager there for a number of years, and then after that, I worked for a company that made recycled paper machinery, and I was the plant manager at that plant. That was interesting work. Um, that was I did that till I retired. Then I bought a dump truck, and my brother and I went back into the construction world a little while after I retired.
Did did you have any experience at Chestnut Grove Elementary School that influenced your career choice?
Well, I can't say that I had a thought path from Chestnut Grove. I knew that I wanted to be a good student. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with life, but just kind of took things as they come, and opportunities opened up for me. I got the job at the tub manufacturing company, and had no idea that within less than a year's time I'd become the plant manager. But I moved up through the ranks pretty quick there. But I I just I just believe in doing things right. And the guy that owned the company was a Jewish guy that if you worked hard, he was looking for someone that's honest and work hard. So I just happened to be the right guy at the right time.
Good. Did you understand at the time that you were attending Chestnut Grove that you were going to a segregated school?
But yes, yeah, yeah. Rode past. Well, I grew up in the Chestnut Grove community, about 3/4 mile from the school. Um, yeah, so we very much knew that it was a segregated school, and one of the hard things about that time was every book you got, some pages were missing out of it, and I just thought that was just the normal, but it seemed like you missed so much, you're wondering what's on those pages. And then there's a Caucasian guy that lived in my neighborhood actually confronted me and said, "Did you ever have a book with all the pages in it?" I said, "Why you ask that question?" He said, "Well, the books that you all had was the books that we had before, and we make sure we tore pages out of them so you wouldn't know as much as me when you got out of school." And I'd been taught not to let words. I had something I like to left him with, but I didn't. I controlled myself. But that was a hardcore lesson for me. But I was taught what somebody call you, and of course you get a bad break. The only losers was the quitters, so you just get stuck with it.
What type of discipline was used at Chestnut Grove Elementary?
Oh well, Miss Morrison was. I didn't get into trouble at school except singing the wrong song in front of Miss Morrison. Um, we had one principal who was only there for a very short time. He was only part of a year, and uh, the high school student lied to him and told him that I had been writing on a school wall, which was just a complete lie. And that principal, he whipped me like he's trying to kill me. Uh, he only stayed a half a year. Miss Miller is what got me out of that. He was wearing me out, and Miss Miller looked out the window and saw him. She ran out and said, "You trying to kill this child?" He said, "He's been around here writing on the school wall." Miss Miller said, "I know this kid. He would not have written on the school wall." I said, "Where'd you get that from?" And when he told her, she said, "That's a high school bum hanging around the elementary school, and you believe him over a good child." So he didn't last very long.
What kind of bathroom facilities did you have while you were at Chestnut Grove Elementary? Were they indoor restrooms or outside?
Started off outdoor, and they built a new school during the time I was actually going there. The building that's standing there now was not there when I started. Um, the old building had outside toilets, and the new building had plumbing. So that was a big step up.
Okay. Do you recall what was for lunch while you were going to school there?
Well, Miss Pfeiffer was an excellent cook, and she's kind of my buddy. So she had just home cooked type meals, real good food. Yeah, I loved everything about Chestnut Grove. The food was one of those things.